chat. We'll be coming to you guys live for the next hour. Hang out, answer any of you guys' questions, talk about snowboarding, and yeah, just see what you guys are up to, and share with you guys some of the things I've been up to as well. Let's get it. At the moment, I'm in Washington now, near Mount Baker, and hopefully be going snowboarding tomorrow. We're expecting 30 plus centimeters up here in Washington, and hopefully get a good powder day tomorrow. Let's check in, see who's already on the live chat. We got Chuck Van, In Motion SLB, Dan B, Ty Winter Sports. We got Weavez. Weavez says, huge fan, first time going on a plane Friday to come to Revelstoke. Was just wondering if you can put your coat in your snowboard bag or if it's gotta go in luggage. Yeah, I usually put my snowboard jacket in my snowboard bag. Yeah, however it works best for you, but sometimes I'll roll it up, or if I have lots of extra space, I might just fold it and put it in my snowboard bag. I mean, you know, wherever it fits. I mean, luggage could be good too, because then it's just with your clothes, but I find that, yeah, your snowboard jacket, sometimes it could be a bit dirty or stuff, so you may not want it with your clothes, and just throw it in your snowboard bag, man. But have fun in Revelstoke. Working Class Active is on here, asking Ty Winter Sports how snowboard was. Actually, before I start, I wanted to give like 3 shout outs to fellow YouTubers who have had some like big accomplishments or just landmarks recently. So we've got Jonathan Buckhouse recently got to 100K subscribers. So big shout out to Jonathan Buckhouse. It's a few weeks, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, but just haven't had the chance to congratulate him on that. So big congrats to Jonathan. 100K. I think he's gonna have his like YouTube play button soon, so that's gonna be amazing to see. Also another YouTuber, Casey Willax. He's gonna be on the Bomb Hole podcast. I think they're filming it or recording it shortly, and then it's gonna be up in a few weeks or a month. So congrats to Casey Willax for getting over onto the Bomb Hole podcast. That's a really cool thing as well. And then the super huge news is fellow YouTuber Janice Spiteri is going to the Olympics for halfpipe, and she's, I think, leaving for Beijing in a few days. So huge congrats to Janice. I know it's been something she's been working at for years, and it's really cool to see it all pay off. I had the chance to ride with Janice a few times at like Mount Hood in Oregon, also over in Europe in Austria, and it's been like, and also down in California at Bear Mountain. And Janice, it's cool because you see her doing the YouTube stuff and, riding in the park, but then she's also training for halfpipe, and then it all came together, and she's going to China. So that's amazing too. So 3 big kind of milestones for snowboard YouTubers, and it's really cool to see. So yeah, congratulations to Jonathan, Casey, and Janice. All right, Zaka FTN says, hey man, is it very hard to become a snow instructor? It kind of depends. It depends on what country you're in, because the snowboard like instructor course is a bit different from country to country. I think over in Europe, it's probably the hardest place, because I think you have to be a ski instructor and a snowboard instructor at the same time. You got to do both. So that's pretty tough. I think the easiest place to do it is in Canada or the US. For me, it was a 3-day course to get my level 1, and you just kind of had to have intermediate riding skills and be able to competently teach like up to level 4. So like a high intermediate. So that was kind of easy. Like at the time, it was really difficult for me to pass, but it was, in comparison to some of the other courses, it's fairly easy. But I think also over in like New Zealand too, they have like a pretty tough course. Apparently like the New Zealand level 1 is equivalent to like a North American level 2. So kind of depends on where you're at. But if you're in North America and you're riding at like a high intermediate to low advanced level, and if you can speak kind of clearly along the lines of all the teaching things you have to do, then it's fairly easy, to be honest. So I'm going to try to keep like with the latest questions. So if I miss your question, don't spam the channel like with asking it like 100 times, but feel free to like ask it a couple times if I miss your question. But I'm gonna try to get to all of them. Jack Stanley says, Kevin, are you happy with your Nidecker sponsorship? Thought it was cool. Congrats again. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Jack. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, super happy with the Nidecker sponsorship because, like when I met the Nidecker guys, they're just good people, and we've worked out the sponsorship where it's like there's no strings attached, there's no rules, there's nothing. They just said like, you know, we'd be stoked for you to ride our boards, and we'll give you some funds to help support the channel. So for traveling, for, you know, all the filming, video, everything that goes into the channel, they're gonna help support that with some funds in exchange. Like, I'll ride the Nidecker snowboards. And they even said like, I don't have to ride the boards in every video. If I want to ride other boards, I can do that too. And it was just that partnership where I was stoked on the guys who are at the company who are like making it run, and they're stoked on the YouTube channel. So it's like a great partnership. And yeah, hopefully I can help them sell lots of boards, and then they can help me with the channel. And like what the benefit too is that the boards are awesome. Like if you guys watch my riding, if you watch me in the park on the park boards, in the powder, on their powder boards, I think just the riding speaks for itself, because when you're on like a really good snowboard, you just feel good. Everything kind of works. So for the Nidecker, this was the Nidecker Beta APX, and in powder, it's just like so solid. Like it helps me just stay on top of the snow. But when I'm charging and like riding at high speeds, I just feel like I'm in control. And that's really a lot, you know, it's partly because of my riding, but a lot of it too is because the board is just designed super well. So if you guys were watching my videos and, you know, I was riding powder and struggling and falling and all this stuff, then you can maybe say like, oh, the board is maybe not all that. But yeah, the board is definitely helping me in powder. And I haven't ridden a ton of park this year just because I'm trying to chase the powder while it's there. But the days that I have ridden park, it's the same story. Like I think my park skills have slowly been improving, but definitely being on like a solid park board also just helps. And yeah, so the main park board I've been riding mostly is the Nidecker Sensor Plus, and it's just like a really well built twin board. It's a bit of a stiffer park board, but the design just has really helped me lock in tricks, get lots of pop off of features, and even in like tubes and boxes and rails, it's just helping me like stay balanced. And I think that comes through like in the videos too. So yeah, loving the Nidecker's partnership. I would do it like the exact same way next time. And yeah, hopefully we can continue working together. A big thing that I'm doing with them that is probably going to become a bit more present in the videos is we're working on a Snowboard Pro Camp snowboard. So that's like super exciting. So hopefully next October-ish, we're going to have, with the help of Nidecker, we're going to release a SPC snowboard, have it in stores, online, and it'll be like the board I ride most of the time next season. So yeah, really stoked. I've been designing that board with one of their head shapers, Antoine, and he's been helping me we've been kind of collaborating. I'm going to try to get him on the channel so that we can talk about it. But having that partnership is awesome as well. Neston says, I want your hat. Where do I buy? Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Nestor. Check out the description. There should be a link to the SBC beanies and stickers. But yeah, that means a lot. And I've also got sweatshirts and hoodies and t-shirts as well, if you guys want to check those out. Zev says, you're going to be at Stevens Pass Friday night. Unfortunately, no, we're going to be riding at Mount Baker. So I've never, Stevens Pass is awesome. Love it there. But yeah, Mount Baker is just someplace I've been wanting to snowboard at for years, and they're getting good snow. So at the moment, we're like 25 minutes from Mount Baker. So we're going to be riding there tomorrow morning. Minnesota says, yo, you got any tips on committing to new scary tricks? Yeah, for sure. So when you're trying a new trick and it's scary, that's like one of the best things about snowboarding. And it's also yeah, one of the most scary is when you're going for something, but I think if you like build up to it, that's the best way to do it. So an example is recently I got my first like tame dog front flip into powder, and that kind of came together by working on some other things ahead of time. So I was working on it on a trampoline, so doing the same like side flip on a trampoline and building that up first. And so yeah, getting that rotation down and then finding the right day. I think having like the right day and snow conditions really helps. So the day that I landed that trick, it was on like a good powder day. The snow was cold. Just overall vibes of the day were really good. So waiting to try a trick when the snow quality is good. Even if it's in the park, like there's, days in the park where the snow's soft, just, groomed and soft, and then there's icy days as well. So waiting for that like nice, like softer snow park day, I think helps. And just when like your vibes are high, when you're just feeling it, but also just progressing to it. So, try the trick on something small and then just keep working it up to bigger and bigger features. And taking your time with it too. Like if it takes a while, then that's okay. Like not trying to rush it. So, and then a big part of it too is like getting it like when it feels good in the day. Like usually at the very beginning of the day, I'm feeling a little bit rusty. And then there's that sweet spot, maybe an hour or two into the day where like the riding's feeling good, I'm feeling good, everything's going well. And then maybe towards the day, things start to taper off and you don't have quite that same like energy level. So doing it in that sweet spot of the day. So I think if you do all those, then that helps you conquer those scary tricks. Christian says, looking to try half pipe. How difficult is it? Half pipe is tough. Half pipe is super tough. I find that when I'm riding down a half pipe, it's like the first couple walls, you're feeling good. And then by the time you're halfway down, it's like your legs are getting tired. You're like breathing heavy. It's just a lot of work to ride up and down those half pipe walls. And I think like one thing that's kind of hurt half pipe is that there's not a ton of resorts anymore that build a half pipe. So it's kind of rare, the rare chance to actually get in there. I know when I was living in Whistler, it's like the half pipe would maybe be open, I don't know, 1 or 2 months of the whole year, if that. A lot of times they were like building it or getting it ready for a contest, or it was roped off because it just wasn't in good condition. So the fact that there's not a lot of chance to ride the half pipe too, that makes it difficult. But if you have a half pipe at your local resort, just get in there, ride the walls, and just have fun with it. And I think like the more you ride the walls, the better you'll get. It really forces you to get good at carving. So like holding your carving edge along the bottom of the pipe. If you can do that, that's a really good skill to improve and like maintain your speed so that you can go up the next wall. It really challenges your like balance and the pressure that builds on your board, because as you ride up the half pipe wall, you get a lot of pressure built up. And so learning how to deal with that and absorb that pressure and stay balanced is a tricky thing. But yeah, if you have the time to do it, it's a super fun thing to do. We got Chuck Fan with the thumbs up. Thanks, Chuck. Micah says, I'm flying to Seattle in March. Would you prefer Stevens Pass or Crystal Mountain? Oh man, yeah, between those two, I don't know. Oh, they're both so good. Man, I don't know. Stevens Pass or Crystal Mountain? It's a tough one. That's super tough. Man, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. They're both good. They're very similar. I don't think I could choose one over the other. I've had a blast at both. So it's a tough one, Micah. Can't choose. They're both like really quality. Preston says, got a question. So I can do a lot of black diamonds, but I'm scared to hit the mega ramp jump. Can you please give me tips on hitting it? Yeah, I mean, with larger jumps, it's just about building up to it. Like, if the big large jumps are too much, just spend more time on the mediums. The mediums is going to be where you just build the confidence with going fast, being in the air, your air awareness, landing with speed. All those things all those things really, hitting the large jumps just really comes from getting comfortable with the mediums. And if you're not comfortable with the mediums, then starting with the smalls and progressing up. Anytime that I've hit like, the large jumps or XL jumps, it's because I've been already spending a lot of time, say, hitting mediums, and the medium is just feeling so well, and I've got like a few different tricks down on it, and then that's when I step it up to the large. But I wouldn't just go like straight to the large. You definitely want to just progress up to it. Anthony says, when did you realize your career as a content creator really took off? Was it a single moment or video, or did it just hit you all at once? Like, oh, this is real. I think I had low expectations at the start in terms of, like, I always thought that if I continued to make videos, that eventually I would get to a point where I was making enough money that, like, my goal was always just to make the same amount of money that I was making at a normal job outside of YouTube. So I thought that goal was achievable, but I didn't know anything like past that. And at the time, so I started in 2011 making videos, and it was mostly tutorials, and I could see that tutorials were getting at the time, like, in a few 100,000 or even 1 million views. And I thought, like, okay, if I can make videos that are as good or possibly better than these tutorials, then I should be able to get similar view counts. And it worked, and that transferred into ad revenue that just helped to continue on. But I kind of thought at the time, like, YouTube was so new, and like creators and people getting paid by YouTube was very rare. It wasn't that common of a thing. But I guess there was a moment. Yeah, the moment it really took off was probably the first summer that I didn't have to like work a summer job. Because up until then, it was like I would work all summer, save money, so that I could spend all my money on, life and YouTube in the winter. And I was just basically making money in the summer, losing it all in the winter, and then that cycle repeated itself for a few years. And then there was one winter where I broke even, so that was really exciting. And then there was a winter where I made enough money through the winter that I could then not work in the summer, and I could actually just still work on snowboard videos. And I think that was the point where I was like that this was going to be bigger than I was expecting, when I could actually just work on it through the summer as well. And I think that was around 2016. And yeah, I think it was the winter, like the first winter I started doing the live chats as well. So the live chats, I think maybe that was around when I first started doing the live chats, I was like, this is going to be big, just because talking to you guys, seeing the community and the support that you guys were giving, and then seeing the videos kind of do well enough that I knew I could just do this all year round. So that was when it kind of clicked. I think it was like around fall of 2016. We got a super chat from the Shred Ship. Awesome, thanks, man. He says, Kev, hope all is well. Let's call a spade a spade. Why do peeps not wear helmets? Tell the masses your honest opinion. Safety is sexy. Let's ride. Yeah, definitely wearing a helmet, 100%. So Anon recently sent me out the 2 Logan helmets. So big shout out to Anon, another like new sponsor of the channel. So that's really cool. But yeah, wearing a helmet, 100%. I always hit my head like at least once a year, and the helmet always keeps it safe. So yeah, everyone should wear them. I think when people don't wear a helmet, it's just because they just haven't had. There's just not enough experience yet, or they don't know. Because snowboarding, there is so much involved in snowboarding. You have the board, boots and bindings, your outerwear, you've got the mountain. There's so many different things to think about. And I think that maybe some people just don't quite understand yet the risk involved or the dangers of snowboarding. And so I think, recently when I was down in in Bear Mountain in California, I did see a lot of people without helmets, and it seemed like it was mostly new people to snowboarding. And I think it wasn't really like they weren't anti-helmet, but they just hadn't yet had a scary fall, or maybe somebody, one of their friends, or the knowledge yet to like go out and get a helmet. Because yeah, I feel like anyone after they've had one close call or one smack to the head, it's like such an easy decision to get a helmet and wear it. So yeah, I think it's just people, most people, I feel like most people do wear helmets. Like 95% of people snowboarding are wearing helmets. It's just, I think the 5% that don't are just not quite there yet, and they'll get there. But yeah, that's why I like to make videos once or twice a year promoting helmets and just giving people info on it. And yeah, helmets nowadays too, they're not like dorky or weird looking. I feel like most helmets now have like a cool, simple design, and so everyone can kind of find a helmet that suits them. Darren says you need to come shred Kicking Horse in Golden, BC. Darren, absolutely, man. We're going to keep an eye on the snow, and if the snow is coming to Kicking Horse, we'll be there 100%. Zev, what's your worst snowboard slam? We don't see you fall a lot on camera. Yeah, Zev, I think like, you know, I don't mind including my slams. A lot of the time when I do a slam, it's not like anything spectacular. It's more just like it's like a car crash in slow motion. It's just kind of just happens, and it's very anticlimactic. So if I don't include it, it's just because it's boring to watch or whatever. But my worst slam was probably in Chile when we were like we built a kicker up onto the cable of an abandoned ski resort where the chairlift cable was still up, and so we were like jumping onto the chairlift cable. And at one point, I kind of clipped the tail of my board on the cable, came down on it on my hip, and then it sort of like bounced me up and then like upside down off of the cable. I would say that was like my worst slam, because like I kind of hurt my leg on the cable itself. I still have like kind of like a dent actually like in my leg from that slam. But then I also came off the cable and like landed on my head. So it was like a double whammy, and then I had to like hike back up and continue trying. But I think I left that one in. Or maybe there was 2 slams of the day. I left one of the slams in, and then the other one I may have not included it because I was worried that if my mom saw it, it might upset her. So that would be the only other reason why I might not include a slam. But that was the worst one down in Chile. Adam says, even on Burton's own films, they don't even promote wearing helmets. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they should. I think like wearing a helmet, it's kind of like being, what is it like? It's like being like an IndyCar race driver and like not wearing a helmet in the car because it looks cool. I mean, everyone in IndyCar wears a helmet because you're gonna have a crash once in a while, and it's not worth like the risk. So yeah, I think they should. I mean, I think they should decide whether or not to do it, but I think they should make the choice. Each rider, I think, should be able to choose for themselves, but I think they should choose to wear one. Joven says, hi, what's your opinion on the Adidas Samba for all mountain boot and Capita DOA versus Yes Greats Unink comparison? Best regards from Serbia. Awesome, Jovan from Serbia. That's really cool. I love the Sambas. I think they're pretty good for all mountain. They're a bit softer, but I prefer a softer boot. I just, for all mountain, I would maybe just get a bit of a stiffer binding to have that stiffness and stability. So, but yeah, I love the Sambas. And Capita DOA versus Yes Greats. To be honest, I haven't ridden the Yes Greats, but the Capita DOA is like, yeah, it's like a good all mountain board. It's got, it's stiff enough and enough camber that you can really carve all around the mountain. Lots of stability, lots of pop for doing ollies. If you want to take it into the park, it's got a great shape for park. So really good board. Randy says, Kev, what's up, man? You got any plans to meet up with TJ anytime this season? Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we've been trying to do a trip. I feel like our paths just haven't crossed yet. But yeah, I would love to meet up with TJ and ride. So TJ, if you're watching this, man, hit us up. Let's go on a trip. It would be great. All right, just going to skip a bit forward so I'm not too far behind. Mika says, favorite board brand other than Nidecker, LOL. Man, last year I really loved the Jones powder boards. So like the Jones Stormwolf, that was one of my favorite boards. Rode it on the day I was heliboarding, and also the Jones Ultra Mind Expander. Love those two boards. Stiffer powder boards. They both have like a small tail and like a bigger nose, and kind of like that 3D nose shape for like kind of rocking through the powder. So yeah, those were two of my favorites last year. Very similar to the Nidecker Beta APX. I feel like powder boards, for like an aggressive powder board, to me, there is one shape and one design that really does it best. And to me, it's this kind of board. So a stiffer board that's got camber towards the back, rocker towards the front, wider nose, and a small tail, or like a cutout swallowtail. I feel like that is like the best shape or best board design for like aggressive powder riding. And yeah, those Jones boards did it, and the Beta APX as well. Zev says, did you used to be sponsored by Skull Candy? I noticed that in some of your older videos, it says presented by Skull Candy. Yeah, back in like 2015, I had a deal with Skull Candy. I think we did 10 videos. Yeah, and yeah, they paid me, I think it was like $250 a video or something like that, something like almost like very little. And yeah, the videos like blew up. I think they're like the 10 videos I did with Skull Candy are among my like 10 best videos to this day. But after that, they weren't interested in doing anything else. And I think unfortunately, I think the area of Skull Candy I was working with has like gone out of business or is gone. So it's too bad that didn't work out. Yeah, I love Skull Candy. The guys I was in touch with at Skull Candy, really cool dudes, but it just didn't work out long term. But yeah, that was kind of like the first sponsor I ever had for the channel. And yeah, it was really cool. I wish we could have done more stuff, but just didn't plan out. But maybe something else will happen in the future. All right. Owen says, hey man, going snowboarding for the first time at Jay Peak. What should I expect? Nice, Jay Peak. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never been there, but that's over in, I think is that in New York or Vermont? But yeah, what should you expect? I don't know exactly what you should expect, but check out some of the beginner videos and take it slow. Go at your own pace and just make sure you're having a good time. With like learning to snowboard, it does just take like a little while. It may take a couple days. So spend a lot of time on each one of the skills and just progress with it slowly and have a good time. So expect to have like it to be challenging, but make sure you don't make it too hard on yourself. Just like make it challenging to where you're learning and progressing, but don't like push it too hard. And take some breaks, go inside for some drinks or like snacks. Stay in like the easy area. I feel like sometimes on your first day, especially if you're riding with friends, your friends can kind of encourage you to go up to the top or go to the peak or something crazy. But try to stay in the mellow area, and yeah, just have a fun mellow day where you're like, it's challenging, but you're progressing. Oh yeah, David says, if you're uncoordinated, maybe even bring up butt pads. Yeah, definitely. If you can get impact shorts, the impact shorts really help. Wrist guards can really help. Helmet, of course. But those three things, first day, I would say 100%. Spend the money, pick those three things up: impact shorts, wrist guards, and a helmet. God says, how do you like 32 boots? My favorite pair of 32s were the lashed, and they're kind of like the softest. I think they're the softest boot that 32 makes. They're the traditional laces. I have had a good experience with 32 lashed. The other models of 32, I haven't had a good experience with. So the Team 2s, and I guess the Team 2s and the Team 3s. Both of those boots, I don't know why. I had them like maybe 10 years ago. I had a pair of Team 2s that were great. But the last two pairs of 32 boots I had, I don't know why, but they just like absolutely like destroyed my feet. They were giving me like, I had pains around my ankle, around my foot, at my toes, just like all kinds of different spots. So the Team 3s and the Team 2s and the Team 3s were just destroying my feet. I don't know if they've changed something to do with the boot or my feet have changed, but I wasn't a fan of those ones. But before that, I had the lashed, and the lashed were great. Chronic says, have you used anything from 686? I was thinking about getting some mittens from them. Yeah, actually, I have 686 mittens that I'll be wearing tomorrow. I don't know what the model is, but they're the 686 Gore-Tex Mitt. They're just like plain black, and they are also like a heavier mitt too. So really good for cold days. They're probably my favorite like cold day mitt, just because they are Gore-Tex, so you're gonna keep your hands dry, and they're thick too. So like for those really cold days, so a thick pair of Gore-Tex mitts, I think those are perfect. Dysfunction says, how about Arthur Longo's transfer from natural selection? Yeah, I watched a bunch of runs from natural selection. For some reason, the Arthur Longo one, the transfer is not coming to mind. But the Kevin Backstrom, that kind of like the transfer he did to that side portion was really cool. So that one stands out. And the Travis Rice run was pretty amazing too, throwing down those fives and just like charging down the hill with like maximum intensity. Yeah, that was super fun to watch. Kevin Backstrom's like 720 at the end, all kinds of stuff. I didn't see every run, but I saw a few runs. It was really fun to watch. Carmichael says, did you ride or find the locals run Burgundies at Revy? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know if we found any hidden stash runs, but we were trying to like always be going up to the peaks out of gates when they were safe to do. We had our Avi stuff with us, and we were trying to push it as much as possible into some of the different terrain and trees. So maybe we did ride it, but I don't think so. Burgundies. But yeah, I had a blast at Revelstoke. I think we're gonna have a video going up tomorrow from Revelstoke, and then also a video the day after. So there's like 2 videos in the pipeline from Revelstoke. Dysfunction saying, love Kevin Backstrom's style. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, his style was on point. Ken asking about Hestra gloves. I've never ridden Hestra, so I'm not sure. Jack asking, have you ever been to the East Coast, like Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine? I haven't been there, but I grew up snowboarding in Canada, not far from those places in Ontario and Quebec, so kind of just over the border. So I'm familiar with the East Coast riding, the hills, the ice, the trees, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, kind of a bit different on the East Coast, but still super fun. But haven't been back in a while. Davis wants to know, when am I getting back with TJ and David? Well, David, I'm not sure. He's still in New Zealand. Hopefully, we'll see what happens with David being able to travel, or if I can travel there. But hopefully this summer. It'd be great this summer if I can make the trip down to New Zealand and hopefully link up with David. Just gonna grab a drink. What do you guys think about the background here? So I got the board, but the place that we're staying in Washington, it's got this really cool TV, DVD setup. Got a list of DVDs there. And then above the TV, there are VHS cassettes. So really, really cool place we've rented in Washington. All right. Darren wants to know, how often do you ride switch? Can you let us know how to practice your switch and how often? Yeah, riding switch, if I'm riding a run, I'm trying to spend like half of the run riding switch, to be honest. I feel like if you spend half of every run riding switch, then it's just going to improve it so much. So if it's just a groomed run, I'm definitely doing half of it switch. Powder is a bit different. Powder is like super tough. I used to practice more switch riding in powder a few years ago. I haven't done much recently, but yeah, powder is special. In the terrain park, I'm trying to do like some switch tricks in there as well, but it's definitely harder. But yeah, a few switch tricks in the park, but just on a day of if I'm riding groomers, I'll try to spend like half of the run riding switch. Omar wants to know, what's your favorite mountain? Probably like after doing a lot of traveling, it's kind of made me realize that Whistler Blackcomb is a pretty special spot. So I think, I have spent the most time there, but I think Whistler Blackcomb is probably the best snowboarding terrain just for like pure mountain riding. I think Whistler Blackcomb is the best. Vibes wise, I love the vibes at Mammoth Mountain in California. I feel like that's one of the most fun places to snowboard just because of the people and like the excitement and the vibes on the mountain. I have to say Mammoth. I feel like California has like that, something special about it. Mammoth and Bear Mountain, just like such good vibes there. And where else? Yeah, and also Japan for powder is definitely the best too. So if it's purely for powder riding and deep powder riding, Japan is definitely the best place. Niseko. Harjot wants to know any plans for Tahoe again. Yeah, I would love to get back to Tahoe. Just going to keep an eye on the snow though. We're trying to go week to week, seeing where the snow is going to be, and then and be there. But I think Tahoe at the moment, the temperatures are getting pretty warm, and I don't think there's any snow in the forecast. So no plans yet, but we'll see how things go. Ryan says, I was hitting a small kicker and my high back sheared off. Any suggestions on good bindings? Yeah, there's lots of good bindings out there. Park bindings, there's definitely like a good variety. I've been using the Nidecker Cowan X bindings. They're super solid. Before that, last year I was riding Unions, so maybe check out the Union bindings as well. But lots of different, I feel like each brand has got good park bindings, so you can't really go wrong, to be honest. Hakan wants to know, how much money do you need to have a nice snowboard trip to Japan? So it kind of depends on where you're flying from, but I think the flight from North America to Japan is about $1,000. Accommodation, you can do it cheaply, so you can do it for, let's say, $100 a night, so another $700, depending on your group size and where exactly you find. Lift tickets are also not that expensive, so let's say 7 lift tickets at $100. Are they $100 each, or maybe not even? Let's say they're $100 each, so let's say another $700 for lift tickets. So you're looking at about roughly $2,500 for accommodation, flight, and lift tickets, and then maybe another $1,000 for food and like just getting around, taxis or buses. So yeah, $3,500 to $4,000, I would say, for like a fun trip to Japan, including a few few gifts or snowboard gear. So yeah, about 3,500 to $4,000 American. Oh, Micah said hasn't snowed in Tahoe since New Year's. Yeah, that's the last time I was there. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, but hopefully they get some more. Dysfunction says, I'm blown away by how good Casey Willex is. Vibes with you and him are always all time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a killer. He's on the mountain. He's incredible. Yeah, he like riding with him and seeing him throw down all like the flips and stuff. That kind of like got me thinking more in terms of trying getting a tame dog front flip down. So that was really inspiring just to see him throwing down all over the mountain. So yeah, his vibe is like super high, and he's just like always sending it. So that's amazing to see. And yeah, you guys should look out for his appearance on the Bomb Hole podcast. That's going to be really awesome to watch. Chuck Van with the super chat. Thanks, Chuck. He says it's been fun watching the road trips this season, living vicarious from a warm summer. Keep up the good work, and shout out to your filmers. Awesome. Yeah, the filmers, Yannick and Rav. They're around here somewhere. But yeah, those guys have been killing it, helping with the editing, helping with filming, and just being a presence on the trips. So yeah, they're killing it. And Chuck, yeah, hopefully maybe we'll meet up at some point. I know you're doing a trip over here too, so we'll see if we can meet up. That would be amazing. It'd be awesome to meet up in like Idaho somewhere, have like a big reunion with El Stacker as well. Where is El Stacker? Where is that guy? Cato says, how do you like Crystal? I grew up going there. Yeah, Crystal Mountain, Washington. It was awesome. I love the, forget what chair it was, but the chair that takes you up and then you hike across the ridge and then into some of those like chutes and over towards out the gates. Some really incredible terrain. I feel like we weren't there when there was like fresh snow, so we had to kind of like search for the powder snow. But yeah, some really incredible and like very steep terrain. That's one thing that's impressive about the mountains in Washington is that they're not like the biggest mountains, but they definitely have that really challenging aspect to them, which can make it super fun. So yeah, Crystal had that mix of like, kind of fun, mellow groomed runs. I could see there was lots of trees, but then it also had those like challenging, like that challenging double black terrain that we rode a lot, and definitely had some of the best and most fun runs out some of the gates, down some of those like really steep and narrow chutes. Those were amazing. So yeah, loved Crystal, and yeah, hopefully get to go back sometime soon. Hacken says, what's the most difficult trick you can do? Love from Denmark. Yeah, the most difficult one, I got it a couple weeks ago at Revelstoke, was the tame dog front flip. So been trying to get that trick down for years, and was trying it, practicing it on a trampoline. Tried it, a couple dozen times over the years, and always kind of failed at it. Was either like landing on my side or on my back, just not fully committing. It's like a scary trick that it's kind of hard to commit to when you have that like fear level is like high. But in Revelstoke, we just had the perfect conditions, the perfect spot to do it, and just fully committed and sent it. So that's the most difficult trick for me to do. And yeah, felt good to put one down. So that's going to be in a video coming out in the next few days. So in like three or four videos, I'll have the tame dog front flip video out. Pizza wants to know, where did you ride in Quebec? So I rode at Mount Tremblant, a few hours from Montreal there. And that was like my first like big snowboard trip. Or actually I was skiing then. I was like 13 or 14. And so like my family doesn't, my parents didn't ski at the time or snowboard. So I went with a friend who called me up like the day before and was like, hey, me and my dad are going skiing tomorrow. Do you want to come? And so I kind of tagged along on my friend's trip. And I think it was like a weekend trip. So we went for like 3 days, and it was amazing. Yeah, so loved skiing at Mount Tremblant. Clay wants to know smallest mountain you've ever boarded. So the smallest mountain or hill, I guess, I've ever boarded is the place that I first taught snowboarding at. So it's a place called Skyloft in Uxbridge, Ontario. That was the first place I taught. That was where I got my level 1 snowboard instructor at. And it's like a very small hill. The first run, you have you actually park and the resort is at the top of the hill. And then you ride down to the chairlifts. So you start at the top of the hill, and it's the first run it's actually hard to keep your momentum to get to the bottom. And then as you kind of move across, there's a few bigger hills, I guess, but it was a very, very small resort. But I have snowboarded at some smaller places, some indoor slopes. I think the indoor slopes in Europe are probably the smallest overall. But it's kind of not fair because they're indoors, so they have a disadvantage. But Hemel Hempstead in London, that was probably the smallest indoor place I've ever been to. Carmichael says, Uxbridge, nice. I live north of there in Bobcaygeon, awesome. Yeah, I love Bobcaygeon too. I was there briefly in the summer. My friend has a cottage there, so Bobcaygeon's a cool spot. Shred 1904 says, in El Stacker's absence, remember to cannonball the like button. Awesome, Rav. Yeah, cannonball the like button, guys. We got 52 likes. Let's see if we can get to I think we can get to 75 likes. We're, how many likes do we need? We need 22 likes. Kara says, hey, it's been a while since I could get on a stream because of time zones. Haven't been able to ride in 2 years because of COVID restrictions. That means I can't leave the country. Oh, sorry, Kara. Where are you? Whereabouts are you, Kara? Hopefully, wherever you are, you can start riding soon. Mr. Fishing 14 with the super chat. Awesome. Thanks for the support, man. It says, not much, but God bless you and your family. Learned so much through the years. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Fishing 14. Yeah, God bless you as well. I really appreciate the super chat there, and I'm glad that the videos have helped. Yeah, I hope you're continuing to get out there and progress, man. Dylan Dodry says, come ride Sunshine Village. Yeah, I still need to get over there. Man, we were hoping to get to Sunshine, but it's been dry. It's been so dry over there. So Sunshine, once it gets some snow, we'll be there in a second. Delaney, any thoughts on Brandywine Boston Mills? No, I'm not sure. What is that? What is Brandywine Boston Mills? What is that? Have you ever snowboarded in Alberta, Canada? Just curious. Not yet. Have not snowboarded in Alberta yet. But yeah, kind of the border between Alberta and BC, that's where the biggest mountains are. Oh, Kara's in Hong Kong. Okay. Yeah, Hong Kong is a tough spot to be at for snowboarding for sure. Especially with COVID and not being able to leave, that's rough. Heyu says, what's the best resort to board at in Ontario? So I think the best resort in Ontario is probably Blue Mountain. I know when I was a kid and we would go on school trips, that was one of I think we would do one school trip a year, some years, to go to a mountain, and I remember the Blue Mountain being the best. Chuck Van saying, let's get some potatoes in the chat. Absolutely. Thanks, Chuck, in memory of in El Stacker's absence. I saw El Stacker riding the Stormwolf in one of his recent videos too. Absolutely killing it. So that was awesome to see. Yeah, if you guys haven't yet, check out El Stacker's YouTube channel as well. He's putting up some awesome videos from Bogus Basin in Idaho. Mr. Fishing with another super chat says, yeah, for sure, man. I ride here at TJ's old stomping grounds in North Carolina. Oh, no way. So you're riding Appalachian ski mountain, or what's it called? Is it called Appalachian Ski Resort? I forget what it's called now. But yeah, that's sick. So you're in Boone, North Carolina. Awesome, Mr. Fishing 14. Yeah, I still haven't gotten over there. I'll have to check it out at some point. I think there's some famous, like some pretty popular snowboarders that are from that area too. Luke Winkleman, I think Luke Winkleman grew up riding there. My buddy Garrett, who I met TJ through, he went to Appalachian State, and that was his home mountain. Oh, Zeb Powell. Yeah, Zeb Powell, I think, rode there. So yeah, lots of big riders out of North Carolina. Dysfunction saying, say hi to Chris and Andreas. Those guys, I love those guys. Yeah, absolutely. Saw that Chris and Andreas a few days ago in Whistler, and it was great to catch up with those guys again. They're killing it up in Whistler too, putting out lots of videos, and in December it looks like, yeah, they're getting like the December in Whistler was like all time. Sejal saying, Kevin, would you consider a video on how you pack your backpack for a day on the mountain? I am so clunky with all my camera stuff, and I just wonder how the pros do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think a backpack video is due for sure. I've made a few in the past, but I haven't updated it in a few years, so it would be great to get a backpack video out for you guys. Sorry, I'm just sitting on the floor and changing positions. Dennis says, suggestion for a speed board. Yeah, for riding with speed, like I don't have a specific board I'd recommend. This hasn't really been a focus of mine, but I would recommend like I think a stiffer board for speed. I think that really helps. The stiffness helps with the stability. And also like a camber dominant snowboard. So like positive camber is just gonna help keep your edge in contact with the snow and give you more control too. So some positive camber and something that's on the stiffer side. Sky Medium, what are the most comfortable boots you've ever had? Love the Burton Hales, but they stopped making them. Looking for comfort and flex. So I'd say the I have like 3 pairs that have been like super comfortable. So the boots I have now, the Nidecker, what are they called? Do you guys remember the name of my Nidecker boots? I'll get back to you guys. But the Vans High Standard Pros, super comfortable. They're probably the most comfortable. Vans High Standard Pros, just traditional laces, very comfortable. The Adidas Sambas, the Sambas are like insanely comfortable. And yeah, the Nidecker boots I have now, why can't I remember? Arrow. Sorry? Is it Arrow or Triton? No. I'll get back to you on the Nidecker ones have been super comfortable as well. I think like the trick for me for finding like very comfortable boots is I always talk to like people to ask them about their boots. And it's funny, like when you ask people about their snowboard boots, some people, what I was finding is that a lot of people were having foot pain with like similar boots. So, you know, you ask like 5 people and they all say they have boot pain with the same kind of boot. And it kind of like tells you something. And then the same with comfortable boots. People were like, oh, these boots are the most comfortable. You got to try them out. And I would just stand, like what I would do is stand in the boots in the store for like 30 minutes, walking around, standing in them. And the Vans High Standard Pros, like I could just stand in those boots all day long. They're just super comfortable. Same with the Sambas and with the Nideckers. So the Nidecker Tracers, yeah. Nidecker Tracer boots, mega comfortable as well. But yeah, I think that's what you have to do. Just stand in the boots, walk around in them, get in your snowboard stance, and feel them out in the store. If you start getting like harsh pressure points or painful points, that's like a big red flag. I know some people say like, oh, just, you know, get them heat molded or break them in and all this stuff. But in my experience, like the pain doesn't go away. So if it's in the store, it's going to be on the mountain and it usually continues. So make sure they're comfortable in the store. And also sizing is important too. A few times where I've really left it up to like the store, the person that works in the store, they measure your foot and they try to cram you into the smallest size possible. And that's always, for me, led to problems. In like 20 years of snowboarding, that's always led to problems. When I find a size that is like similar to my shoe size and is comfortable in the store, then it's always led to comfort on the mountain. So yeah, just keep that in mind when getting snowboard boots. Caleb, any advice for tall riders? I'm 6'4" and find doing tricks and butters harder for me because the board is always bigger compared to my shorter friends. Yeah, I think that's kind of true. It's like you don't see many gymnasts who are like 6'4", or like, yeah, it's just harder. You have a higher center of gravity. But what you can do is just, you know, you just got to put in that like extra practice. There's not really, yeah, I don't know if there's a trick to it besides just, yeah, don't let it hold you back, the height thing. But yeah, it may be a bit harder, but there's also some really tall like pro snowboarders out there too. So maybe find a tall pro snowboarder and like watch them and get some inspiration, because yeah, you can definitely progress even though you're 6'4". All right. Oh, Chronic says we beat 75 likes. Nice. All right. So we are 22 likes away from 100. Awesome. Daniel, can you do a video comparing different angles on your bindings? Just discovered having both positive for covering is a game changer. Oh, really, Daniel? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've never tried that. I've seen like the hard boot snowboard guys like have the directional forward stance, but I've never tried it myself. So I should, yeah, that'd be a cool video idea, like experimenting with the binding angles for sure. Oh, we just got a new order as well from the SPC merch store. So shout out to, oh, I missed who it was. Oh. Ethan, Kevin, what tips for a front side shifty do you have? I'm doing them pretty well, but find myself wanting more angle, but not quite being able to get it. How do I increase my shifty angle? So Ethan, I think what I do is like to get more twist, more angle on my shifty is just practicing it on the snow ahead of time. So really practicing on the snow as I ride, just like getting really twisted to get the board completely sideways. That's the best way to do it. And then in the air, if you practice it lots on riding to the jump or on the slope to the park, I find that really helps then get the shifty fully sideways in the air. And then yeah, like I guess technique wise, it's like if your back foot is coming forward to be sideways, then your front hand and like your front arm have to like go counter. So you're kind of like twisting your upper body and lower body in opposite directions to get that twist. Kara says, are you back in Whistler now? I really miss not being able to go. Tiger's Terrace, then through Grandma's Kitchen when there is some pow is literally heaven. What is your favorite run? Yeah, Kara, sorry you can't, yeah, sorry you haven't been able to get to Whistler. It's tough when you're not able to travel and go snowboard. Yeah, I'm not in Whistler right now, so I'm in Washington. I've actually moved to Vancouver, so I don't live in Whistler anymore, just traveling this winter, trying to go to different places. But I say my favorite run in Whistler is probably up Spanky's Ladder, like going up Spanky's Ladder on Blackcomb and then dropping into one of the bowls, like going across the ridge and dropping into Sapphire Bowl, something like that. Those are probably my favorite. Joseph says, are you going to be at High Cascade Camp this year? Possibly, yeah. I've been going there for the last like 5 or 6 years. I missed the 2020 year because of COVID stuff, but yeah, I would love to be back at High Cascade or at Mount Hood. Love being there in the summer. I think it's the best place. I'm 100% going to be at Mount Hood snowboarding in the summer at some point for sure. Do you have, Joseph, do you know if you're going to be at one of the sessions? Chuck Fan says there is no substitute for time on the deck. Yeah, absolutely, that's true. And Joseph saying I'll be there for the very first time on the 4th of July week. Awesome, that's a really good time for summer snowboarding. 4th of July week, super fun. Awesome, guys, so that's just over the hour mark, but yeah, thank you guys for hopping on. And yeah, stoked to talk to you guys, answer the questions. I hope you guys are having fun out there snowboarding as well. And yeah, we'll be back on here next Sunday to talk to you guys again. This week, you guys will definitely see some videos come out from Revelstoke and possibly a video from, we were in Mount Bachelor a couple days ago as well. So you're gonna have a park day from Mount Bachelor. And if you guys are around Mount Baker, and we're gonna be riding Mount Baker the next few days. So if anyone out there is gonna be riding Mount Baker, come say hi. It'd be great to meet up. But yeah, stoked on the riding. Yeah, big thanks again for all you guys hopping on here. I hope you guys are having a good winter out there snowboarding. And yeah, really appreciate the support, guys. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys next Sunday. And all right, yeah, take care, guys. Awesome. Bye.